With the onset of the coronavirus pandemic resulting in job losses and salary cuts, it goes without saying that people are struggling to make ends meet. And as you can imagine, more than a few members of the working class are feeling rather panicked right now. But what can be done to earn some extra cash on the side? And are any of these options for you? For all this and more, stay tuned. 1. Sell all your unwanted junk. They say that one man's trash is another man's treasure, which rings especially true when you find yourself between a rock and a hard place. In fact, it's human nature to buy unnecessary things when life is going well. It's what makes us feel alive in this capitalistic society of ours. From clothing we've only worn once or twice to toys that our children no longer play with. You'll find quite a few items lying around that fall into the unnecessary category. But keep in mind that what's unnecessary for you may not be unnecessary for someone else. And since these items are simply collecting dust at the moment, you can bet your bottom dollar that you'll be better off selling them to the highest bidder. Luckily for you, there are quite a few applications around that allow for the quick and easy sale of items such as these. Facebook is a prime example and comes packed with a marketplace at the fingertips of just about every consumer in your area. The same can be said about letgo.com, which works on the same principle by allowing consumers to contact you directly when interested in buying what you have. And since both applications can be controlled from your smartphone, the process is rather convenient. Just be sure to receive payment before shipping an item out, and if possible, meet with the buyer for a direct exchange at a neutral place of your choosing. It's always better to be safe than sorry. 2. Garage sale flipping. If you're less of a hoarder, the selling of items online can be a lot more difficult. How are you supposed to sell things you don't have after all? Well, this is where the so-called Gary V strategy comes in, which is a method of sale created by the very man it was named after. According to this money-making strategy, all you really need to do is patrol the garage sales and auctions within your area. You'll be surprised at just how many incredible items you'll be able to pick up at extremely low prices. Remember, the people selling these items are in the same position as you and want to make the sale just as much as you want to make the purchase. As such, always walk into a garage sale with a bartering attitude on your side. And once you've been able to collect a sufficient amount of interesting items, you'll be able to head on over to the same applications as we discussed before. Do this for quite some time and people will come to know your name. In fact, you might even find it helpful to make your own website dedicated to the selling of inexpensive and interesting items that are out of the reach of other consumers. You'd be surprised at just how many people will pay top dollar for certain unwanted items. Suffice to say, the profit margin attached to these sales are well worth the trouble, so keep your eyes open for sales. 3. Get into the business of selling courses. The sale of material things is great, but if you don't exactly have the time to seek out interesting items, you could always go ahead and sell a course you've created. And yes, we know what you're thinking. You're not exactly a teacher by trade, but we're all good at something and terrible at so much more. So start by taking a seat and writing out what sets you apart from others in your life. Maybe you have a special set of skills that come in handy in the kitchen, or you may be particularly gifted in the writing department. Either way, find what makes you the person you are and put pen to paper with the intention of developing your own personal course. Once done, you'll have to decide on where to market yourself, but don't be too stressed, as there are quite a number of platforms to choose from. YouTube, for example, will allow you to teach these lessons and get paid in the form of ad revenue. Or if you want to do things more formally, get yourself an account on Udemy, or self-publish a book on the subject that can be sold via Amazon. There are honestly so many options out there, but they all start with you believing in yourself and truly developing a course that people are willing to pay money for. And while this might take a while, remember that these courses can be sold multiple times. Think of it as an investment. 4. Start your very own podcast. Surprisingly enough, you don't even have to have a teachable skill to make a name for yourself online though. All you really need at your disposal is a likable personality. And if you're not a big fan of appearing on video because of how awkward it might feel, look no further than podcasts, which are the hottest thing around at the moment. Think about just how many YouTubers have their very own podcasts on Spotify right now, and you'll see that there's a tried and tested method to this madness. Whether you want to educate the public on a particular topic or simply want to talk about your opinion on various world problems, you'll find a place for yourself online. And if the public ends up responding to you with follows and shares, you'll find yourself making money through views and sponsorships in no time. But it's important to remember that this isn't easy. You'll first need to get yourself some proper recording software, as well as a decent microphone that won't make you sound like an echoey mess. Believe us, if that's the case, nobody will want to listen to you. You'll have to spend more than a few hours deciding on the content you want to deal with. There are so many categories to choose from, but it's important to make a choice based on what you want to talk about, not what's popular with the kids right now. If those two link up, you're golden. 5. Become an employable freelancer. Another industry that has been booming ever since the onset of the coronavirus is that of freelancing, which allows for workers to try their hands at something new with the intention of making money. And since great freelancers have a tendency to turn their short-term contracts into permanent work, it goes without saying that this could be your means to work from home for the rest of your life. All you'll need to do is figure out what type of freelancer you want to be. And as you can imagine, there are quite a few positions to choose from. Right now, most freelancing jobs have to do with the creation of YouTube videos. So if you have the ability to write, edit, or simply have a delectable voice, you're in for a treat. And there are quite a few applications out there that will make finding work pretty easy. Look at Upwork, for example, which is a freelancing platform that allows employers to post jobs that can be applied for by freelancers. This is where the majority of independent work contracts are first established, so check it out when you have some spare time. You might just find a job you'd love to try out for, but keep in mind that you'll likely have to start working for scraps until you have enough experience to be considered for larger jobs. The wait will be well worth it though, so keep up the good work and you'll be fine. 6. You can even get paid for watching videos online. Last but not least, we have an option for those of you who want to earn some extra cash while sitting in front of the television. Funny enough, websites like Swagbucks exist, which allow for users to be paid for watching advertisements on specific sites. And the reason why we've chosen Swagbucks over and above the other pay-to-watch websites online is because users actually get a $10 sign-up bonus when using the application for the first time, which will likely be the easiest $10 you've ever earned. It's also important to note that these videos can be watched on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, allowing you to earn pretty much passively while you continue doing other things. You don't even need to pay attention to these videos, as you won't be tested on them later. All that's really required of you is to press play and collect the income earned. Unfortunately, not much can be earned this way, but it's a lot better than nothing at the end of the day. So if you want to take the easiest route, look no further than Swagbucks and its many advertisements. And there you have it, some of the best ways to make some extra money online while you wait for things to get better. Which method sounds best to you? And do you have any other examples we should be mentioning? Be sure to let us know in the comments section down below.